I love the song, I know that much. I'm watching this on Viki. Butterflies, blood, sword. I love the idea of them establishing everything that we need to know as an audience through the telling of this historical fairy tale, quote unquote. That way they're not having to get it in during conversations and exposition later on, which is always a nightmare because it's really difficult to write exposition in a way that doesn't kind of pull people out of the story, because it's obvious when you're like, when, you know, I always use the example because they do it all the time and it drives me crazy. You know, you'll have it like, let's say a brother and sister who we don't like introduce as a brother and sister, and then they'll be like, hey sis, and then like there's another woman in the room and it's like, can you believe that mom over there is da da da? I mean, the way they do it is just always it just feels clunky, and I like that they're kind of doing this through a historical fable slash story that's gone on for all of time, and they're getting it taken care of early on. It saves the writer and the actors a lot of trouble. We recognize the scarf on the little girl. The bow is interesting. I wonder if that's going to play a part later. No, maybe not. She put it down. But usually, you don't include something unless it's important later. Trust me, I get all the hubadoo over him. He is something else. I needed someone like him giving me the answers to my tests before I took them. A storm is coming. That reminds me of Jon Snow. It's like, you're fucking with the wrong dude. Here it comes. Slow-mo. Slow-mo means business. Puddle of blood. No mercy. Doesn't seem like yet. Yep. He's a liberator. Whoop. Whoop. Another great way to get in information. So she's willing to die to see this victory. There she goes. That's intense. Everybody dying. Evil king. Ooh. 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 Oh, there's the ring. She's wearing the ring that the girl saw in the box. So the girl died for nothing. All those people died just for him to die anyway, so that's interesting. So obviously this man that was about to be murdered was important to him. I'll be curious to see who that turns out to be. Father or something. There's a reason that he wanted it all to end before that man died. The music is fantastic. There's the ring. Maybe he just wanted to die with her. I don't know. Show the ring again. Yep. Great shot. I love the imagery of the weeping, kind of dying sunflowers around him. That's the number one thing to think of when you're watching something, is everything is there for a reason. even if not necessarily to the storyline, but to subconsciously tell you the story. So the storm clouds are ushering in something. When they're moving like that, it's ushering in a new day, a new, era, power. Great, great butterfly on the sword. That's beautiful. So here we go. So we know this is, he ushers people to their demise, or escorts them into the afterlife. He's dead. I bet you his body's still sitting in the car. He's watching himself. Oh, no, I was wrong. Again, this is what I love about K-dramas. I mean, like, they're unpredictable. Oh. Oh, that's her. Brilliant. Well done. Well done. I knew somebody'd be seeing themselves dead. Just got the wrong person. I'm making note of the wind chimes. I'm curious what that's gonna, if that's always gonna signify a spirit moving on. I don't think it's a one-time thing. They're using the different furniture, accessories, all of that to show that this has been going on obviously for quite some time, through generations, through eras. He's collected a lot of artifacts. His house tells a story. He and the Grim Reaper obviously have maybe they're frenemies. This chair's not comfortable. Oh boy, here we go. He's going to take revenge. He's like, I'm back and you can't kill me. So, game on. Game on, bitches. That's what I thought. You effed with the wrong man. Sweet revenge. So we're setting up motivation here for his actions in the future. Regret. He's realizing he didn't appreciate in the moment. Revenge. Is revenge more important? That motivation, I'm assuming, will carry throughout the series. And need further reflection, like life lessons will come from just that conversation. Powers, yep. Yep. Well, they're gonna regret this. Reminds me of Jedis from Star Wars. He can control the seas. He can control the... He will drown that whole thing. They have regurts. So I'm watching this scene, I'm sitting here thinking, they're showing how much power he has. He controls the weather, he controls the seas, he controls so much. But I'm guessing when this new love interest comes into his life, she's going to be the one person, one thing he cannot control. It's going to be both a great and a frustrating thing for him, I would bet. It's kind of like Batman overlooking the city, Gotham City. He's lonely. Yep. Thus the title. He's, the imagery here is really great because he's above the rest of the world. Obviously, speaking to his godlike, form. He's separate from the rest of the world, but still sort of weighed down by it. The girl from earlier. This reminds me, seeing her reminds me that, I've said this in a video before, usually characters that have lines aren't just there for no reason. You'll see them again, or they play an important part. There's not enough room on a script to just give lines to somebody for no reason. Same for an object that gets special attention on screen, like the ring, the scarf. Blood obviously plays a role. Even he's sitting on a red sign while she's laying in a pool of red blood. He's not really interested in acting, but okay. I mean, acting on her behalf, but okay. He doesn't enjoy his power. There's a red light behind him, so red is gonna be throughout. None of that is by accident. I am anyone. It sort of reminds me of scripture, I am. God refers to himself as I am. So she's preggers, which tells me obviously we're going to jump in time. She's pregnant, which means we're probably also going to see the little boy that was in the school uniform later in life. He's a little older. For some reason, he's feeling compelled to help even though he's not supposed to. Yep. Something about this pulls him to this particular person even though he's not supposed to interfere. He's going to interfere and thus set him on his journey. Very handsome. Snow, white pure snow, which usually signifies innocence. Then right against the backdrop of the red light behind him, just like her red scarf. Like everything else is telling him don't do it, stop, but he's doing it anyway. Because there's this innocence, there's this purity, there's something about this moment, there's something about this child. And we have white again. So white is the color of innocence, purity. Think the daughter in The Scarlet Letter. Pearl. Everything was white. Anytime we referred to her, it was white. Pure as the driven snow. And then you contrast that with all black of death. No name, aged 0. He's going to be ticked off when he realizes that the goblin got involved and saved that child, I bet. And flower. Yep. See, none of it's by accident. Here we go. He just saved his bride, not knowing. She's got a butterfly on her. I think that was a butterfly. She's in white. White dog. Purity. Purity. Oh, she's seeing things. Very interesting. So she's gifted. So we're establishing she's spunky. We're establishing she's smart. And she's going to be a challenge for our goblin. She's got a mind of her own. Lighting the candles. The matchstick. Something. Okay, I was wondering. Okay, so it's not her mom she's seeing. Just like she saw the dog, she's seeing her mom. I see dead people. There's something about the strike of the fire that brought that on. So I don't know if her new abilities were brought on by the fire, by the birthday, both. My pumpkin, I wonder if that's going to come up. That's just my guess. So I'm kind of assuming too we're going to have a fight between the goblin and the Grim Reaper, because the Grim Reaper's like, I was supposed to take this child however long ago. Because his job was to deliver both to the afterlife, and he didn't get to do one of them. So I'm assuming that might be a problem. And I'm just saying all this stuff. I don't know. These are just my guesses based on the setup. Just me guessing. Looking in the background, seeing if I see anything that kind of stands out. Look at her, big girl with her scarf. There's a date circled on that calendar. It was the 4th, 9th month, I think. So I'm curious about that, if that shows up to anything, or if that was just a prop in the background. Yeah, 9/4. So she doesn't believe in wishing. So she's going to be proven wrong on that. that she needs to make wishes to make things happen. Then they showed the flame extinguishing, so I think flames or smoke are going to be important. This old woman is obviously something powerful. Up. He's coming for his. Yep. She's outsmarting him. You know this, so she's part of this whole thing. Like she has some kind of special power. I don't know who she is. Yeah, he's going to be chasing after her this whole series probably. He's going to have to fight the goblin for it. Okay, so land you choose is important. Okay, so this is God, probably, or something like, or the equivalent of God. When I gave her to you, and I gave you to her, a benevolent power. She gets a cabbage. I gotta write that down. Cabbage. She's gonna turn into something else. Oh, what's going on? So she's gonna show up in different forms. Okay. Is that the kid? Was that the kid? Surely not. So that little rascal is now a problem maker. So she's a senior. They know she sees ghosts. She's a loner. She's lonely like the god is, or like the goblin, which means they will not be alone together. Yeah, she's wearing the headphones, trying to drown this stuff out, but it doesn't work. She can't escape it. She can't escape this gift that doesn't feel like a gift at all. Oh, there he is. I love this song. Umbrellas. Eyes on each other the first time. I love this song. It's perfect. So he knows something about her. We're just again showing that him in this huge room and he's alone. There's a reason they put him off to the right hand side to show the vastness of like the empty world that he lives in, and he's just like in this one little corner over here, and everything else is just emptiness. Candlelight, fire, it's going to play an important part, I think. So he needs to leave by the end of the month. Is that right? Which, there's the grants. Yeah, there's the rascal. Okay, I'll come back to that. Usually, if they mention time, it's like a ticking clock. So something has to happen by that. They give you a time, so that you know you're in a hurry. So I'm wondering if that's what they've done here, or if I misunderstood. So you have the philosophical idea of a clock, but then they literally followed up with a clock. So that's intentional. We're running out of time. We're on a clock here. It's the same oftentimes if there's a theme of death. If you look around, if there's a theme of death in something, they usually also have visuals like a cross or a, skull and bones or poison or something, so that visually you're getting it without even necessarily knowing it. And that's exactly what it did with the clock. A mention of time and then the clock shown. She's resilient. She's good at taking care of herself. This is almost like they're the evil step-parents. Yeah, it's the evil stepmother and the two kids. I recently had seaweed soup for the first time, and it was actually really, really good. I didn't think it would be, but it was. Rain can symbolize a lot of stuff. It can symbolize, obviously, the mood, the person's thought process, that they're actually in a really cloudy, dreary place emotionally. It can symbolize kind of uncertainty coming, a storm coming, adversity. And because it's kind of done in this bleak situation, that's what it kind of lends to. If it was done in like a green field somewhere or something like that, it would might signify rebirth or like spring new. But this, under these circumstances, I think it's more about her. Yeah. Everything about her life is dreary. Everything about her life. Yeah. This is where she spent her birthdays with her mom. There we have the green field. So he's in the same green field where his body was put, right? Or am I dreaming that? The green cake matches the green field. And there's the red scarf. Everything's connected. Fire, there's candles. I'm telling you, something's going to happen. There's like this red tinted bench amidst all the green. Something's going to happen when she lights those candles, I think. Okay, so again, we're seeing the opposite. He lived with regret that he didn't tell the other person how thankful he was for him, but he's doing it here. So he's learned a lesson, right? So we're seeing, even though this is a series, and the series will have an arc, every episode will have an arc. And so you'll have moments where, you'll see a full character arc develop, but it's also going to tie into the bigger character arc of the entire season. The green in the green that he's carrying matches the green of the cake. She's lighting these candles, a flame. She's making a wish. She doesn't believe in him, but she's going to make one. And he's hearing it. Oh, here we go. She's a feisty thing. Feels like a waste. Who am I begging? The wind's picking up. She's blowing it. Okay. There's the smoke. I figured. No, it's rain. She's like, fuck my luck. She's a mess. Was it the wish or the candles? Or both?
그 아저씨 맞죠? 무슨 말이야 보인다는 게? 아저씨 귀신이잖아요. 제가 귀신을 보거든요. 귀신 아니야. 처음엔 다들 그래요.
He's met his match. I love it. Well, shit, they're adorable. Oh, and the song starts. I knew the cabbage was gonna come back up. Buckwheat flowers. I need to write that down. 저기요. What about my boyfriend? She wants a boyfriend. I want that house. Does anybody else want that house? I do. And the furniture. I'll take the furniture. Oh, Grim Reaper's there. Oh, we've got a competition of powers here. There's a clock there on the left. Just a moment. It was just on screen for a moment. Interesting. She's got some pep in her step, unlike yesterday. She's got something to look forward to. She's not sure she believes him, but she'll give it a go. Very outgoing and optimistic. Wrong chicken shop. Oh, fire, flame. She's going to blow it out. Blow it out. It's going to... Yep. He looks good in a turtleneck. This episode is long. She's kind of going through the routines here. See, she's smart. She's smart. Is he going to come? Maybe he can't come into a church. Nope, there he is.
아부하지 마. 신이 어딨냐며. 어디 계신가 해서 한번 와봤죠. 왜 불 안 될 줄 알았는데.
She's gonna drive him crazy because she's gonna summon him constantly.
이런 질문 이상하게 들릴 거 아는데 오해 마시고 들어주셨음 해요.
알았으니까 해. 뭐.
처음엔 아저씨가 저승사자인가 했어요. 근데 저승사자면 절 보자마자 데려갔을 거예요. 그 다음엔 귀신이구나 했어요. 근데 아저씨는 그림자가 있었어요.
She's smart.
그래서 생각을 해봤죠. 대체 저 아저씨는 뭘까?
그래서 뭔데?
도깨비요.
She's smart.
아저씨 혹시 도깨비? 전 도깨비 신부거든요. 제가 귀신 보는 건 어떡해요? 뭐
Oh, she has to be able to see the sword, right? That's the thing. She has to see the sword and pull it out.
저 지금 되게 진지하거든요.
나도.
But if she pulls it out, doesn't he die?
복수하시는 거예요?
아래 봐 보이는 거 다.
키가 크시네요.
또.
I don't know. She glanced at his middle, so I think she sees it. She's just being.
한 30대 중반?
또.
She's playing games with him.
설마 뭐
안 됐지만 어차피 덤으로 사는 목숨이니 감사하며 살아. 넌 그저 원칙을 어기고 인간의 생사에 관여해서 생긴 부작용 같은 거니까.
Well, that was an insult. That hurt her
내가
feelings.
감수하기 싫다면요?
그냥 원래 명대로 죽는 방법도 있어.
말을 참.
He basically just told her she has no value.
알겠고요. 아까 한 질문 다시 할게요.
Mhm.
아저씨 혹시 도깨비예요?
아니야.
아니에요?
아니야.
그럼 뭔데?
Held on to that identity her whole life, so she's devastated. That she thought that was her purpose, that was her value, and he just told her she didn't have any.
야, 근데
They were in a whole different place.
뭘?
맘 먹었어요 제가.
뭘?
저 시집 갈게요 아저씨한테. 난 암만 생각해도 아저씨가 도깨비 맞는 것 같거든요. 사랑해요.
She's cute.